Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres. And today, I'm in the greenhouse. Now, I need to do some planting, and I'm going to tell you why. As you can see, these two pots are empty. And what used to be in those was pak choi. Now, pak choi is a brassica, cabbage family, and I try not to plant the same things in the same buckets too often because a plant has a specific set of needs, and it will suck those nutrients out of the soil. So if you plant the same thing in the soil all the time, that will be just totally depleted. And then you'll have very sad, sickly little plants that won't do all that well. That is definitely not my goal. So I'm going to replace these guys, but I'm not going to replace them completely with brassicas. This bucket here, I'm going to put spinach in. Now, you guys have seen my spinach. It's doing great. We're getting 1 or 2 salads a week off of it right now, but I can look at the plants and I can tell based on the number of yellowing leaves on the bottom and also the number of harvests and everything else that our life expectancy is limited on these. We'll probably have them for another month, but after that, certainly the quality and quantity is going to drop off. Now, I just fertilized this the other day with both a 20-20-20 liquid fertilizer. Well, it's dissolvable, so it was in water. And I also added some Micro Boost, which gives you all the micronutrients. Spinach and some of the other plants like this really need boron, so I was making sure that that was set. And it does seem to green them up right away. These were harvested on Friday, and this video is being made on Monday. So you can see we're doing fine, and I'll probably have probably a harvest on tomorrow or Thursday. Definitely if I wanted one on Friday, not a problem. Depends partially on how large I want the leaves to be. But I also want to experiment with different kinds of spinach. Now, Henry has planted some spinach over in here, and this was his little experimental plot. And you can see the plants on the left-hand side are radishes, and the ones on the right are spinach. And they're doing really well now. They have their own true leaves and stuff like that. And they're doing pretty darn well, despite the fact that it's been wicked cold this week. But that's not going to be enough spinach for 2 people to have a decent spinach salad a couple times a week. So I decided that the perfect solution would be to plant in this old pak choi bucket. Now, spinach is not in the brassica family. I am going to go ahead and get these planted. And then we're going to talk about what I'm going to plant in here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is change the labels because I do not want any confusion. This is going to be seaside spinach. It wants to be planted half-inch deep. So let's do that. Now, this soil is dry, so I'm definitely going to be soaking this good later. Carefully put away the seeds. Carefully cover up the seeds. And now all that needs is water. And put the paper clip back on the package. Now, what am I going to plant in this one? I'm going to break my own rules here a little bit, and I'm going to plant something else that's in the brassica family. I'm going to plant Conan Kalerabi. Now, we have not tried this particular variety of Kalerabi recently, ever, actually. It's from Haas Tools. I get nothing from Haas except for wonderful seeds and occasional great fertilizer and stuff like that. Put the little label on it because this used to be pak choi and we don't want a confusion. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other guys. I'm just going to plant them up. And then I'll show you the existing kohlrabi plants that we have and why I'm starting a new batch right now. Now these are also a brassicas, so they're going to be little round balls, but these guys are tiny. And these need to be planted 1/4 inch deep. And actually, because I need to space these out more, I can actually just literally poke these in with my finger. That's probably a better plan, because I want to make sure that they have room. If you crowd them, I have learned from experience they don't do as well. So by actually seeing where they're going to be, I can make better choices. Yeah, this stuff's got 93% germination rate, so I'm going to risk putting just one seed in each hole. Now, this will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9, 10, or about 10, 11 kohlrabis. This is not our first batch of kohlrabis this year. And it definitely won't be our last batch. They're pretty amazing. And what I'm going to do, I'm trying to think, do I want to plant radishes in the middle, or do I want to plant decisions? Do I want to plant radishes in the middle, or do I want to plant another kohlrabi? I think I'm just going to plant another kohlrabi in the middle. We really love kohlrabi, and they will sort of flop over a little bit as they grow, which kind of gives me a little more space to work with. Not a lot, but a little. So I'm going to put 3 kohlrabis in the middle here. Plink. There we go. There's a piece of me that wants to grow radishes because they'll grow really fast, but pak choi and kohlrabis and a bunch of the other stuff really do grow fast. So, okay. Now, let's go take a look at the other kohlrabi that we have. Right there, those are all kohlrabis. Now you're seeing a few yellowy leaves, and that's okay. It's been getting too hot in here lately, so they got a little more dried out than they should have. But this plant is just perfectly fine. It's growing nicely. Now, what I did as an experiment this fall was I planted 3 varieties of kohlrabis in here. These guys here are called Terek, T-E-R-E-K. And we got them from Johnny Select Seeds, and we love them. That's what we grew last year, and we were totally impressed by them. We've harvested 2 out of here. Yeah, 2 out of here in the last month. And you can see there's a bunch more coming on. But the cold really stunted a lot of stuff. So these should have been grown and eaten months ago, and they just haven't. Now they've started to kick in pretty well. I've refertilized everybody. I've got a couple of other ones this size back in here. Then over here I've got these guys. And I'll have to look up the names. I really don't remember. This is a purple one. And then this is another white one back here. This looks essentially the same as these guys. And it's from Haas Tools. They did not do as well in the extreme weather that we had here as the Terek did. But we really like the flavors of these guys. We actually haven't had a purple one yet. But we did have, let's see, this is called Quick Star. We did have the Quick Star kohlrabi, and we tasted just 2 of them, and we really liked them. Let's see if there's a label here for this guy. Purple, purple, where are you? I may not have written one here because I knew it would be easy to tell because it was purple. Anyway, I'll look him up. The purple really has not been as tolerant as the other ones. So I don't know whether that's a factor of it being, I mean, sometimes some of the colored veggies just are not as cooperative as some of the regular ones. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why. Maybe they were bred more for their color than for their stamina or something. But I do want to try these guys again because the idea of having a purple kohlrabi appeals to me. But our goal this winter was to really create a situation where we would have good succession planting. Basically, the new plants would be starting to produce as the old ones were finishing. Okay, here we are over at the broccoli. Now, this is our mini broccolis, and I just harvested a ton off last night. You can see there's lots more little ones coming on. These have just been fertilized and everything else, so they're pretty much going gangbusters. And very happy with these. We've got 6 plants here, and we've had 3 meals off of them so far. These are our regular broccoli, and I'm going to have to harvest them in the next couple of days because I don't want them to go to flower. You can eat them once they've gone to flower, but they're just not, I don't think they're quite as good. Over here, we have our Brussels sprouts. And this one plant has wilted every single day this week. It's just been too hot. So, I don't know. I watered the heck out of it. I do know that I now officially have thrips in here, which I'm not happy with. So I'm going to have to start spraying for thrips, which is never my idea of a good time. But that's definitely what I have. So, yeah. But these broccoli here are ready to be harvested too. So I probably need to pick them, probably do them tomorrow. Now they've already started putting on some side shoots, which is fine. They should have produced larger center batches, but again, all these plants were really badly damaged by heavy, heavy, heavy frost. I mean, it was 22 again in here last night, and there's really nothing I can do about it. This has just been a wacky winter, and we don't have the capability to heat when it gets that cold. So my goal now is to try and keep that with that kohlrabi. I've got more seeds over here. Now, you saw me plant these back on February 2nd, these little guys in here, and we've got broccoli, mini broccoli, cabbage, pak choy, a bunch of different stuff going on. And the same thing here. These were planted just a couple of days ago, I think like 3 days ago, and they started popping up already. But this is the same situation. We're trying to get a succession going, and these will all be planted in buckets so that if the weather becomes too hot in here and we can't provide them with enough shade and coolness, I will simply move them outside, even if it means I have to move them every day. So we're determined. We're totally determined. So we hope this gives you some sort of idea of things you might be able to accomplish in your own garden. Things go wrong. We've got frost damage. Now we've got some thrips. God, I hate thrips. They are one of my least favorite critters on the planet. But I'm going to start spraying for them. Now that I know what to look for, I spotted that there was a problem going on. It was just a matter of figuring out what the heck it was. It was just a little too dark in here last night to actually be able to see the details. Now that I can see the details, I know what the problem is. So I'll be spraying probably tonight. Yeah, I need to spray tonight. And we'll see if we can get these beggars under control before they get out of hand completely. A lot of the plants have no damage yet. I'd like to keep it that way. What amazes me is it's still down in the low 20s outside, and we already have trouble with thrips. Really. I actually found a squash bug in here 2 days ago, sitting on the handle of one of the watering cans. Needless to say, I squashed him. I was not amused, not in the least. It's too early for that, but he must have overwintered somewhere. So he got a nice warm day and he came out. Unfortunately, it was his last day. So hope this inspires you. See what you can do yourself. Even if it's nothing more than planting a couple of little radishes in around something else until that other something else grows bigger. It's definitely possible to maximize your space, to maximize your production. And it's kind of fun to see what you can get out of a small area. We don't have this optimized by any sense of the imagination. It's kind of thrown together, made out of old storage containers and all kinds of other stuff. But we are still getting a heck of a lot of food out of here. My goal is to also get some more, well, that's another story. We have a lot of other planning to do, and we'll be working on that in the next week for sure. We have some potato seeds that arrived, seed potatoes, not potato seeds, seed potatoes that arrived earlier than we expected, and some of them are heavily sprouted. So we are going to have a word with that supplier, but we are also going to go ahead and plant some of them in buckets in the greenhouse. It was something we planned to do, just not on a massive scale. So we'll have to see what we wind up doing there. But until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we will definitely be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I have a couple of interesting topics that I want to talk about with gardens, that I discovered some new stuff this week that I had suspected, but yeah, definitely some points I'd like to share. So until next time, bye.